was a big win for the team at Aston Villa at the weekend. Just what we really needed, because there is a danger with the Premier League being so tight at the moment and everybody packed up together, that a couple of defeats could send you one way into the bottom three. Look what's happened to Newcastle and Sunderland. A couple of wins can send you the other way, and really the way in which Boro have turned it around away from home has had a big impact on where they are on the league table at the moment. 7 points out of 9 from the last 3 away games. Should be 9, of course. They should have won at Blackburn, but for that 94th minute equaliser from Benny McCarthy. Since then, Boro tightened up even more, went to Aston Villa, and I thought it was a superb performance. All right, they were gifted both goals in some respects. You've still got to put the ball in the net, but the way in which Villa defended was very poor on both occasions. Boro took full advantage. But at the end of the day, they deserved the win. They went there with an enterprising approach. I thought that's the way they had to do it. There's no holding midfielder in the team at the moment. And when you've got a setup with 6 attacking players, arguably, I mean, the whole of the midfield, you might argue, would be attacking players, attack-minded. They like to push forward, don't think so much of the defensive side of the game. So Boro really had to play to the strengths. And the way in which they did break quickly, particularly through Ali Adi and Downing, I thought was absolutely superb, and stretched Villa on several occasions, caused them lots and lots of problems, and nobody could argue that Boro didn't deserve the 3 points, even though they did leave it a little bit late. Really should have had it sewn up earlier with Afonso Alves's horrendous miss, you might say. We all thought it was going to be 1-1 after that at best, but kept going and got the win they deserved, and good on them. And now when you look at the league table, looks very, very healthy. Time to push on. I was particularly pleased to see Tunjai get the 2 goals. It takes him to 3 for the season. Obviously he's missed a chunk of the campaign so far because of his knee injury that he sustained playing international football for Turkey. He's come back really bright and breezy. He was thrown in really at Blackburn because of Mido's injury, and he virtually played the full match on that occasion at Ewood Park. Stayed in the side since, as you would expect. He's world-class, Tunja, there's no doubt about it. And in many respects, he isn't a 100% natural striker. He's a guy who likes to be playing behind the front two, you might argue, more often than not. But it's not a position, really, that the Premier League accommodates. The position in the hole, so to speak, isn't one that's used by many clubs. And Tunjai really has to be an orthodox midfield player or an orthodox striker. And naturally, a striker's the obvious. You look at the way he finished at Villa Park, there's no doubt about it that he's a great finisher, given the opportunity. Maybe he doesn't get into as many goal-scoring positions as a natural sniffer might do, but the goals are in him, and it's interesting to see that Southgate said on a couple of occasions since that one thing Tunjai has to improve is his goal-scoring. Well, he's responded quite well with 2 goal strike at Villa Park. Absolutely delighted for him. That takes him to 3 for the season, and he's got to push on. Afonso Alves is also on 3. We do expect more from the Brazilian, and really he does have to start producing. As I say, that miss at Villa Park was unacceptable, really. We can't afford to have him missing chances like that. He's got to put the ball in the back of the net. He'll have more opportunities at Everton, and we do really need to see him pushing on from there. Mido's still top scorer with 5. He's done very well, particularly on the occasions he's come off the bench. He's used his strength and his determination. Had a good attitude so far this season, Mido, which is great to see. 3 strikers scoring goals now. That's just what Southgate wants to see. Mido'll still be another week away before he can return to add a bit of competition in there. But the strikers do need to score goals, because even though we do have attacking midfielders, the return from the midfield department goal-wise hasn't been too good yet. We're still waiting for Stewie Downing to get his name on the scoring charts. I'm sure he'll do that soon, but already faces a bit of a struggle to match last year's 10. But we do need to see more. Nice to see O'Neill on the mark at last, and he's another we need to see goals from. And I'm sure we'll get a decent haul from De Gea before the season's out. One of the great things about the Villa win is that it's boosted confidence no end, and I think they'll go to Everton now Many people regarding it as a similar game, but I don't think it will be. Boro will still go there full of confidence, and that's the main thing. But it's going to be a totally different type of game. Interesting to see that David Moyes was sitting and watching the game from the stands. He obviously, probably in many respects, would be a little bit frightened about the prospect of Middlesbrough going to Goodison Park on Sunday, because the way in which we broke so quickly caused problems to anybody. One thing about Moyes, though, he won't have his team playing an open game in the way that which Martin O'Neill did for Villa. There's no doubt that Everton will be more organised, more defensive orientated, and in this respect Boro will find that a lot of their attacks, their breaks do founder really on the fact that Everton will have the extra man, extra two men back there, and it'll be harder to create chances, so they're going to have to work that little bit harder. They're also going to have to concentrate more on defence, because in many respects we'll see Everton trying to break quickly. Going to be a different type of game, but it's one which Boro will go into full of confidence, as I say, with 7 points out of 9 away from home. It's really a great opportunity to continue to push on. Everton have lost 3 at home already this season, although they were the first 3 games. Since then they've had 2 draws and finally got their first win at home when they beat Fulham 1-0. They'll be buoyed by that. They will also be boosted by the fact they recently won 3-1 at West Ham, which was a good comeback on that occasion when they were 1-0 down. So it's going to be a tight game, an interesting game, but again, you know, if Boro stay unbeaten in this, it'll be just what really the doctor would order for the 2 home games against Bolton and Newcastle, which come up before the end of the month, and offer the team the chance to get back on track at home. 6 home points can make a big difference and can boost their bid to stay in the top 7 or 8.